The three big signs: God is about to change your life forever. Somebody needs to hear this today. You've been praying, you've been fasting, you've been waiting for a breakthrough, and you're wondering, God, when is it my time? Let me tell you something. When God is about to change your life forever, he doesn't do it in a whisper. He does it with power. And if you've been feeling a shift in your spirit, if your world has been shaking, then you better get ready, because God is about to do something that will leave you in awe. One, that divine disruption always comes before elevation. Some of you are looking at your life right now and it feels like everything is out of order. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe your relationships are crumbling. Maybe the things that once felt comfortable now feel unbearable. But let me tell you something. God doesn't break you to destroy you. He breaks you to build you. Before he takes you higher, he has to shake you loose from everything that's holding you back. Look at Joseph. He had to be thrown into a pit before he made it to the palace. David was hiding in caves before he sat on the throne. God disrupts before he elevates. So if you feel like your life is in chaos, don't panic, pray, because that means a shift is coming. 2 doors are a setup, not a setback. Who told you that just because a door closed, your destiny was denied? The enemy wants you to believe that rejection means you're unworthy, but God says, I'm closing this door because I have something greater. You didn't get the job? Good, because God is making room for something better. That relationship ended? Praise him. Because he's removing the wrong person to bring in the right one. God is not in the business of setbacks. He is in the business of setups. And if you learn to trust him, when things don't go your way, you will walk into blessings that you never even saw coming. 3 unusual opportunities will start appearing. Somebody here is about to step into a season where things just don't make sense. Doors will open that you never knocked on. People will call you with opportunities you never applied for. You will walk into places you are not qualified for, and they will say, we've been waiting for you. That is not luck. That is the favor of God. Because when God says it's time, it's time. No man can stop what he has ordained for your life. No enemy can block what he has in store for you. When God is ready to shift you, he will do it suddenly, he will do it powerfully, and he will do it in a way that leaves no doubt that his hand is on you. So if you're feeling restless, if doors have been shutting, if your spirit is telling you something is coming, get ready, because God is moving. He's positioning you. He's preparing you. And when he changes your life, it won't just be for a moment. It will be for when God is about to shift your life. He first shakes it up in ways that you may not understand, in ways that feel uncomfortable, in ways that may even leave you questioning, Lord, why is this happening to me? But what you must realize is that the shaking is not a sign of destruction. It is a sign of preparation. God does not allow disruptions in your life without a purpose. He does not permit storms to come unless they are meant to clear the path for something greater. The very things that seem like they are breaking you are actually making you stronger, stretching your faith and positioning you for the next level of your destiny. Think about it. Before a tree can grow taller, its roots must be forced to grow deeper. Before gold can shine, it must first go through the fire. Before a building can be raised to new heights, the foundation must be tested and reinforced. The same applies to your life. Every trial, every challenge, every unexpected turn is not happening to punish you. It is happening to prepare you. Sometimes God will remove the things that you thought you needed, strip away the comforts that you depended on, and close doors that you never imagined would shut, not to harm you, but to push you into something greater. You see, we pray for elevation, But we don't always realize that elevation comes with transformation, and transformation requires breaking, molding, and reshaping. That means God has to disturb what is familiar, shake up what is stagnant, and remove anything that cannot go with you to the next level. So when life feels unstable, when it seems like everything is shifting beneath your feet, when you're facing opposition from every direction, don't panic. Because what feels like a breakdown is actually a breakthrough in disguise. What looks like an ending is actually the beginning of a new chapter. What seems like a loss is really a setup for a divine comeback. Because God never promotes without first preparing, and He never prepares without first pruning. So if your life feels like it's in a whirlwind, if it seems like nothing is going according to plan, if you find yourself in a season of uncertainty, confusion, or even pain, then lift up your hands and praise Him, because that is the clearest sign that He is getting ready to take you higher, and what He is building in you now will sustain you for the blessing that is on the way. Every rejection, every disappointment, every moment when you knocked on a door and it didn't open, when you prayed for an opportunity and it didn't come, when you gave your best effort and still faced a closed door, none of it was meant to destroy you. None of it was meant to discourage you. None of it was meant to make you feel unworthy, because in God's divine plan, a closed door is never a punishment. It is a redirection, a repositioning, a moment where heaven steps in and says, you aiming too low. You're settling for less than what I have for you. You're asking for something that doesn't match the greatness I placed inside you. And instead of allowing you to walk through a door that will delay your destiny, instead of letting you settle for something beneath your calling, and instead of giving you what you think you want when He knows it's not what you truly need, God in His infinite wisdom shuts that door, not to frustrate you, not to break your spirit, not to discourage your faith, but to make sure that you don't walk into something that would limit you, something that would keep you bound, something that would stop you from stepping into the fullness of what He has prepared for you. Because when you belong to God, when you are walking in His purpose, when your life is in His hands, rejection is never rejection. It is protection. It is preparation. It is a divine intervention that says, this is not where your story ends. This is not where you give up. This is not where you stop believing, because every time a door closes, God is already preparing to open something better, something bigger, something beyond what you could ever ask, think, or imagine. And if you could see what He has on the other side of that no, if you could see what He is building behind the scenes, if you could see the way He's orchestrating every detail of your life, you would stop crying over what didn't happen. You would stop feeling discouraged over what didn't go your way. You would stop questioning why that opportunity passed you by, and you would start praising Him for the doors He didn't let you walk through. Because sometimes the greatest blessings are found not in the doors that open, but in the ones that God closes, the ones that keep you from settling for something beneath your purpose, the ones that ensure you don't attach yourself to something temporary when He is preparing something eternal, the ones that block you from walking into a place that would limit your growth when He is calling you to a place where you will flourish, where you will rise, where you will become everything He created you to be. Because when God closes a door, it is not rejection, it is not a delay, it is not a failure. It is a divine setup for something greater, something higher, something that will leave you standing in awe of what He had planned for you all along. When God is preparing to shift your life, when He is ready to take you to a place you never imagined, when He has ordained a season of transformation and elevation, you will begin to see opportunities arise that make no logical sense. Doors will open that you never knocked on. People you have never met will be drawn to you. Resources you never sought after will suddenly find their way into your hands. And what once seemed impossible, what once felt like a distant dream, dream, what once looked like something reserved for others, but never for you, will begin unfolding right before your eyes in a way that cannot be explained by human effort. Because when God moves, he does not move according to earthly limitations. He does not operate within the boundaries of what you think is possible. He does not bless you based on your qualifications, your connections, or your background, but he blesses you according to his divine will, according to his supernatural favor, according to his limitless power. And when it is your time, when he declares that your season has arrived, there is no system, no person, no obstacle, no force that can stand in the way of what he has already set in motion. Because when God decides to elevate you, he does not ask for permission. He does not wait for approval. He does not follow conventional steps, but he moves in a way that defies expectation, that goes beyond human reasoning, that surpasses every barrier. And because his ways are higher, his plans are greater, his vision for your life is beyond what you can comprehend. And when he starts placing new doors in front of you, when he begins orchestrating divine opportunities, when he starts aligning things in your favor, it won't be because you chased after them. It won't be because you forced them to happen. It won't be because you manipulated circumstances to work in your favor, but it will be because his hand is upon you. His favor is guiding you. His power is making a way for you. And suddenly, without warning, without explanation, without you even fully understanding how it happened, you will find yourself stepping into rooms you never thought you would enter, standing before people who have the ability to bless you in ways you never expected, walking through doors that you didn't even know existed. Because when God chooses to bless you, when he chooses to increase you, when he chooses to accelerate your destiny, he chooses to accelerate your destiny. He does not do it in an ordinary way. He does not follow the world system. He does not give you blessings that make sense to the natural eye, but he releases divine favor that breaks protocols, that removes limitations, that sets you apart, that causes things to align so perfectly, so strategically, so miraculously that all you can do is stand in awe, lift your hands and say, this had to be God, because there is no way I could have done this on and when you begin to understand that the unusual opportunities appearing in your life are not a coincidence, that they are not random, that they are not luck, but they are a direct result of God's divine plan unfolding in your life, you will no longer hesitate. You will no longer second guess. You will no longer doubt whether you are worthy, but you will step boldly, walk confidently, move forward with faith, because you will know without a shadow of a doubt that what God has opened for you, no man can shut what he has prepared for you. No enemy can block what he has set in motion for you. No force can stop, because when God is on your side, when he has marked you for greatness, when he has ordained your next level, there is absolutely nothing that can stand in the way of what he is about to do in your life. When you find yourself in a season where nothing feels quite right, where the things that used to bring you comfort no longer satisfy, where the job that once excited you now feels draining, where the relationships that once felt fulfilling now seem distant, where the routine that once gave you peace now feels suffocating, you must recognize that this is not just a passing phase. This is not just a moment of uncertainty. This is not just an emotional slump, but this is a divine signal, a spiritual alert, a heavenly whisper telling you that something is shifting, that you are outgrowing your current environment, that you have reached the end of a season, that God is preparing you for a new level, that he is calling you to something greater. And when this unsettling feeling begins to rise in your spirit, when you can no longer shake the sense that you are made for more, when your soul begins to feel like it is trapped in a space that no longer fits who you are becoming, you must understand that this is not something to ignore. This is not something to suppress. This is not something to silence, because God will often stir your spirit before he shifts your situation. He will allow discomfort to take root before he uproots you from the place that can no longer sustain your growth. He will remove the sense of belonging from where you are are so that you can start seeking where he wants you to be. Because when you are too comfortable, when you are too attached to what is familiar, you may resist the call to move. You may hesitate to step into the unknown. You may try to hold on to a chapter that God has already finished writing. But when he is ready to elevate you, when he is ready to transition you, when he is ready to take you beyond where you have been, he will first make sure that staying where you are is no longer an option. He will place a holy dissatisfaction in your heart. He will make you restless in your spirit. He will allow you to feel like you don't fit, not because you are lost, not because you are failing, not because you are being punished, but because he is enlarging your capacity. He is expanding your vision. He is stirring up the gifts inside of you. He is awakening the purpose that has been lying dormant. He is activating a deeper hunger for what he has in store. And when you feel this unsettling in your soul, when you sense that you are being pulled towards something greater, when you can no longer ignore the voice telling you that it is time to move, do not resist, do not dismiss it, do not talk yourself out of it, because that is God's way of telling you that your next season is calling, that he is shifting things in your favor, that he is making a way where there was no way, that he is preparing an opportunity you didn't even know existed, that he is orchestrating a breakthrough that will change everything. And the only thing you need to do is trust him, to lean into his guidance, to allow him to lead you, because what he is doing in your spirit right now is only the beginning. What he is stirring up inside of you is the evidence that he is moving. What he is making you feel is the confirmation that you are being positioned for something that eyes have not seen, that ears have not heard, that minds have not imagined. And when he is ready to shift you, when he is ready to take you to that next level, when he is ready to launch you into your divine purpose, nothing and no one will be able to keep you where you are. Because once God declares that your season is changing, the doors will open, the opportunities will align, the path will be made clear, and you will step into the destiny that he has been preparing for you all along. When God begins to shift your life, when he begins to elevate you, when he starts taking you to places that you have never been, one of the first signs that you are entering into a new season is that certain people will begin to fall away. Not because you have done something wrong, not because you have changed for the worse, not because you are losing your way, but because they were never meant to go where God is taking you, because their role in your story has come to an end, because their purpose in your life has already been fulfilled, because they were part of a previous chapter but not the next one. And if you try to hold on to them, if you try to keep relationships that God is trying to remove, if you try to drag people into a season that was never meant for them, you will find yourself feeling way down. You will find yourself struggling with unnecessary burdens. You will find yourself delaying the very blessing that God is trying to bring into your life. Because not everyone can handle where you are going. Not everyone has the capacity to grow with you. Not everyone has the spiritual maturity to walk with you into the next dimension of your purpose. And sometimes God will allow people to walk away. Sometimes he will allow relationships to dissolve. Sometimes he will cause separation, not because he is trying to hurt you, not because he is trying to leave you alone, not because he wants you to suffer, but because he knows who is truly for you. He knows who will support you. He knows who will celebrate you instead of secretly resenting you. He knows who will add to your purpose instead of draining your spirit. And if you are not willing to let go, if you are not willing to release what he is removing, if you are not willing to trust him in the transition, you will find yourself clinging to people who were only meant to be in your life for a season. People who were part of your journey, but not part of your destination. People who helped you in one stage of life, but cannot help you in the next. And the reason this separation feels so painful, the reason it feels so confusing, the reason it feels like you are losing the very people you thought would always be there is because you don't yet see what God sees. You don't yet know what God knows. You don't yet understand the way he is orchestrating your future. But if you could see what he is preparing, if you could see the people he is about to introduce into your life, if you could see the divine connections, the powerful alignments, the relationships that will push you, uplift you, and bring out the best in you, you would stop mourning what you lost. You would stop chasing after people who walked away. You would stop begging people to stay when God is the one who removed them. Because every time God takes something away, every time he shifts your circle, every time he allows a relationship to end, it is because he is making room for something better. It is because he is positioning you for something greater. It is because he is protecting you from people who cannot handle where you are going. And if you could trust his process, if you could trust that he knows exactly what he is doing, if you could trust that his plan for your life is bigger than anything you could ever imagine, you would realize that losing certain people is not a setback. It is a setup. It is not rejection. It is redirection. It is not abandonment. It is divine alignment. Because when God shifts your life, when he takes you to the next level, when he moves you into your destiny, the right people will come. The right relationships will form. The right connections will be made. And you will finally understand why he had to remove why he had to separate you from who he separated you from, why he had to change your circle, because what he has for you is too great to be hindered by people who were never meant to go with you in the first place. When God is getting ready to shift your life, when he is preparing to take you into a new dimension of purpose, when he has ordained a season of elevation and breakthrough, one of the clearest signs that his hand is upon you is the sudden and undeniable presence of uncommon favor. The kind of favor that doesn't make sense, the kind of favor that defies logic. The kind of favor that places you in rooms you never expected to enter. The kind of favor that brings opportunities you never sought after. The kind of favor that causes people to bless you without even knowing why. Because when God decides to pour out his favor upon you, when he chooses to elevate you in the presence of those who doubted you, when he sets his divine stamp upon your life, doors will open that no man can shut. Opportunities will appear that you didn't even know existed. Resources will come into your hands that you never worked for, because favor is not something you can earn. It is not something you can manipulate. It is not something you can manufacture, but it is something that God releases upon those he has called, those he has chosen, those he has positioned for greatness. And when that favor begins to manifest, when it starts surrounding you like a shield, when it begins making ways where there were no ways, you will find that things that once required struggle will suddenly become effortless. Battles that once seemed impossible will be won without a fight. Doors that were once locked will swing open without you even knocking, because the favor of God does not operate within human limitations. It does not follow the rules of the world. It does not require permission, and it does not depend on who likes you or who supports you, because when God's favor is on you, no enemy can block it. No opposition can stop it. No circumstance can cancel it, because what God has spoken over your life, what he has ordained for your destiny, what he has declared over your future cannot be overturned. And when you begin to notice these divine connections forming, when you start experiencing doors opening without effort, when you witness breakthroughs happening that you cannot explain, that is your confirmation that God is moving, that he is shifting, that he is aligning things in your favor. And instead of questioning why it is happening, instead of doubting whether you deserve it, instead of wondering if it is too good to be true, you must step into it boldly. You must embrace it with confidence. You must walk in it with faith, because God does not waste his favor. He does not release his blessings without a purpose. He does not accelerate someone's destiny without a divine assignment. So when you begin to see his favor surrounding you, when you feel the weight of his blessings pouring out upon you, when you recognize that he is orchestrating things in a way that no human could take credit for, that is the moment when you must understand that you are stepping into a season of supernatural acceleration, that what took others years will take you months, that what seemed impossible will become possible, that what looked out of reach will suddenly be within your grasp, because the favor of God is not limited by economy. It is not restricted by circumstance. It is not controlled by man, but it is governed by his divine will. And when he decides that it is your time, when he declares that you are stepping into a new season, when he releases a flood of favor over your life, you will begin to see the miraculous unfold in ways that you never expected, in ways that you never imagined, in ways that will leave you speechless, because this is what happens when God's hand is upon you. This is what happens when he positions you for greater. This is what happens when he accelerates your destiny. And all you need to do is walk in it, receive it, and prepare for the manifestation of everything he has spoken over your life. Because when uncommon favor surrounds you, no force in hell can stop what God has set in motion. When God is about to change your life forever, he will shake things up, remove people who can't go with you, and place you in situations that force you to grow. What feels like rejection is actually redirection. What seems like loss is preparation for something greater. When doors close, new ones will open. When you feel restless, it's because God is shifting you. Uncommon favor will surround you. Divine connections will align, and breakthroughs will happen in ways you never expected. Trust the process, embrace the change, and walk boldly into the destiny God is preparing for you.